Yo, what's going on? My name is John Pasantes. I'm a music producer. I've been making music since 2016. Just started making it professionally for 2 years now. Today, I would like to go over basically my workflow, how I make my beats, how I mix them, how I master them. But that will be a later on video. Just for today, for this instance, we're only going to go
YTJay
over the
music.
beat making process. If this video gets enough notice, I will continue the series. So drop a like down below, leave a comment, say something, let me know what you guys think about this creative process, and let's build. You guys can help me and I can help you. Alright, so let's get into this. So usually when I start my beats, I like to start with the percussion, but 9 times out of 10 I just go with on what I'm feeling. So in this case, I go with the percussions. Oh, forgot. Alright, so quick note. I want to mention it's always important to have a hard drive with all of your sounds. It's very important, very crucial, because you don't want to be all over the place trying to find your sounds, your kicks, your snares, and all that. It's better to have it in one single place, as shown right here. And overall, you just look more professional like this. You are more professional like this because you have all your sounds with you. You have all the kits you have. Your workflow is going to be 100%. Nothing's going to be slacking. You're never, ever going to lack inspiration when you have your own hard drive with all of your sounds in it. So let's see what we got for the drums. I don't know. Or even sometimes that doesn't help. So what I do is I just sit down with the tempo. Now obviously this isn't what I'm feeling. Just feel the tempo out. Now with the MPC, there's a feature where you can just tap out the tempo and it will set it to that tapped out rhythm. In this case, it would be an 80. So let's see. So right now, I'm just looking through my drum loops and percussion loops. I'm looking for the ideal one that complements my sound, or to get this beat started in this case. But with that being said, you want to take your time. You really don't want to rush it, especially if you're starting out. Why? Because this is your work of art and you're the artist. You're putting the paintbrush on the canvas. I'm feeling this one. This is what I'm feeling. Alright, so now what we do, I like to chop up the samples, even the drums. So let's see. Just lay it out. Fuck it. So you can probably hear these chops are not that evenly chopped. So what I like to do is go back to make these chops nice and even. Why? Because I don't want to go back in the future or when this whole song is already completed. I don't want to go back and fix these chops up. So might as well just do it now, you know? Sometimes you gotta fix them chops, man, because they don't sound right. Call it the percussions. Also, it is important to always name your tracks right after you record a new track as well. Why? Because as a producer, within time, you're gonna want to add on so many things into your music, into your overall song. And if you keep adding more and more tracks without titling them, it's gonna be hard for you to keep track of what sound is which. And plus, it won't be as tedious as going back and trying to mute a certain sound or edit a certain sound. So I love to let the sample rock while I'm looking for a different sample, in this case the melody. Why? Because although it may be tedious to hear the same exact sound as you may be hearing right now, it helps me with the creative process. Not only am I able to see and map out and hear how the sample could work out with this drum loop, but it's just a better workflow for me. And especially with a machine like this, the Kai MPC, this will work out so much better and much more smoother. This is the one, yo. So I like to keep the chopping process very simple. Just go with the flow, man. Just go with the flow. You can fix the chop if it's messy later on when you're about to lay it down with the drums or the percussion loop. Let's go. Terrible try. Do it again. Never be afraid to try it again. A certain chop or sequence of chops could sound really nice at first, but that's why you always gotta sit back and listen to it as I'm doing here. You want to really have a grasp for it. You want to have a feel for this melody you just created. Alright, it's not really sitting on me if I'm being honest. Never be afraid to do it again. So I'm gonna do that. Tell you, man, this setting where you make your beats is very important, just as important as our hard drive or this beat machine. Very important because you don't want to be in a room for a long period of time repeating the same thing over and over again. It feels like high school again, right? But we don't want to see that. Maybe just switch it up. Take a walk. Go take a walk to the fridge and come right back. Maybe open your shades a bit. Exercise. Read a book. Switch it up a bit, you know? So here I'm just letting the beat rock, or what I have so far, I should say. Just want to let it rock, see what I feel like I need to add to it, if that makes sense. Usually when you hear a beat in a car or a radio, and you think to yourself like, yo, I could have added such sound to this or such sample to this. This is what I'm doing right now. In this instance, I'm pretending I'm in the radio or I'm in the car right now. Listen to this mix.
Very important. We get ourselves
It's perfect. So you want to find the right drum kit that complements the percussion loop or complements what you already have. So as you can see right here, I'm just going to mess around a little bit till I find the right groove.
kick right there. Let's go with the snare.
Why it's important to have multiple sounds within drum kit. You know, maybe a certain kick doesn't sit well with you or a snare doesn't sit well with you. That's why you have options.
I think that other snare would work. Producer block. I don't know if I should add another snare or not. So what I do, I just get rid of the melody and
let the beat rock. Sometimes it's important to just hear how the drums work or how the drums sound on their own. If they don't knock on their own, then something is wrong. You gotta redo them. So for this instance, I felt like the clap was in the no. So what I did was add another layer of a snare. Not a clap, but a snare, which as you can hear, it sounds pretty well together, pretty well mixed together. And that's what I'm following. You always want to follow your ear. You know, within time, you're gonna have a better hearing for sounds and frequencies. But as a beginner, it's just always important to follow your ear. So here's one of my favorite parts. I love recreating another melody for a beat or drums I just created. Not only it will allow me to expand my creativity, but I can actually see the growth of my beats and my instrumentals. So this is why this is one of my favorite parts. It's always important to switch up the patterns of your song. Why? Because you don't want your sound to be so repetitive. So to prevent that, switch up the melody pattern, switch up the drum pattern, maybe add in a little pause within the song, add some effects, be unique with it. This song defines who you are and what you're made of. So my final process of me creating this beat, I'm just fixing the chops, all my melodies, all my samples, because you want to fix your samples from the source. You don't want to try to fix your melodies within the mix, because that will never happen. It will never be perfect. So with that being said, always fix it from the source. If your samples are sounding nice and crispy, nice and professional, your mixing process will be a breeze.